Hi, this is Brent from Mindful Music Therapies, and today we're going to be looking at a little bit more Tim Minchin. Alright, so there was a lot of great comments and reception on the last Tim Minchin video, so I thought I'm just going to keep with it and see what we can find. I saw a lot of comments for Rock and Roll Nerd, so I found one posted on his YouTube channel that I thought, we could listen to together. So yeah, let's just get right into it. He's such a great pianist.
Doesn't have a problem with drugs. He just doesn't get them. He's fine that his mates have tattoos, but he thinks they'll regret them. He likes going to pubs, but he hates it when the music's too loud. He tends not to go to rock concerts cause he can't stand the crowds. But all he's ever wanted to be is a rock star on Rage or MTV. But he knows that it's not fucking likely. He just turned 30. He knows that he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep writing songs the world will never hear, and though they won't be heard, he'll just keep writing. Oh yeah, but you see the problem is he always dreamt of being a star, but he learned piano instead of guitar.
So before we move on, I feel like there's a lot of introspection on his part here. I feel like he's definitely talking about himself a bit. And I also kind of relate a lot to that. Always grown up, learning a bunch of instruments. I'm thinking, I want to go out and do things. I want to be up on stage. Typically when I'm up on stage, it's not singing and playing, it's trumpet. So, I don't like loud music. I love concerts though. It's just a rare occurrence. Plus, we got to be safe these days. But yeah, I'm really interested to see where he takes this, because I kind of relate.
Which in the 90s didn't get you very but he learned piano instead of guitar. Which in the 90s didn't get you very far. So while the other kids were learning Stairway, he was the piano to their forte. But he was convinced one day he'd rock their fucking asses.
So I'll back up a little bit, but that line, he was the piano to their forte. In music, piano denotes a softer volume, forte denotes a louder volume. So that's kind of what the joke was there.
Piano to their forte, but he was convinced one day he'd rock their fucking asses, be an icon for the disenfranchised masses, grow his hair long and rebel against the state. But just for now that'd have to wait, cause he's running late for his morning classes, and he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep playing gigs that no one knows about, and though it sounds absurd, he'll just keep playing. Oh yeah, but you see the problem is there's not much depth in what he's singing. He's a victim of his upper middle class upbringing, so he can't write about the hood or bling bling. So he sits and imagines his girlfriend is dead, to try and evoke some angst in his middle class head. But the bitch is always fine at 9:30 when they go to bed. And he's not spent a single night in prison. He has no issues with nutrition. He has no drinking problem and no drug addiction. Unless you count the drugs they put in chicken. And marijuana always tends make him cough. He doesn't look good with his t-shirt off, and when he tries to act tough, you can tell he's...
Okay, I can tell it's bumping up here. It's almost... So sometimes people talk about... There's a lot of research behind creativity, especially in the music scene. And, a lot of times people talk about, music coming from a place of hurt, music coming from a place of sorrow. He's kind of like, this person, probably talking about himself, comes from this white middle class society. He's got nothing to complain about, so he's got to pretend. But it also, it feels almost like an American Idol, America's Got Talent sort of thing. It's like they're up on stage giving a sob story, and then everyone feels bad for them, and then next thing you know, they're getting the gold buzzer. So it's giving me the vibes of, those people that are obviously not being very honest. Like, oh yeah, my mom left before I was born. It's like, did she? Did she really? And then they get like 1 million votes. So yes, I hear it's picking up. I really want to see where it's going.
Marijuana always tends to make him cough. He doesn't look good with his t-shirt off, and when he tries to act tough, you can tell he's tricking. While his mates will go out late, puffing pills and having fun, he goes home and showers and gets a good 8 hours. He gets his thrills from his morning run, and while his mates will go on dates, taking speed and drinking cans of Jim Beam, he stays home and cooks, curls up with the book with the girl he's had since he was 17. Cause he's never really been part of the scene. Give him Guns N' Roses, he'll take Queen. He's more into Beatles than the Stones. He's more Stevie Wonder than Ramones. And he's never owned a panel van. He never shot a Pantera band. He doesn't know the difference between metal and thrash. He couldn't tell you nothing about Axl and Slash. He likes Ben Folds and the Jackson 5. He knows all the words to Stayin' Alive. And though he wants to be all crunchy and cool, he spent 11 years at a private school. So it don't matter how he tries, he cannot hide behind his rock and roll lies. Cause you've either got it or you don't. Yeah, you'll either rock it or you won't. You've either got it or you don't. Rock it or you won't. You've either got it or you don't. He knows that his music lacks depth, but it just can't be helped.
I find it interesting that he correlates music having depth to personal life experiences, because there are a lot of really good and popular songs that are completely fantasy. I'd say a majority of songs talking about someone else or something else. And again, I know this is all comedy. But yeah, it's interesting how he's using the term depth when it comes to music, because I guess coming from a music background, when I hear depth, I think of not just the lyrics or the meaning behind the lyrics or supposed meaning behind the lyrics. I'm thinking of the entire accompaniment, the entire orchestration, the melody, the rhythm, and I mean, ironically enough, this song has a lot of depth to it. And I think that's something just to mention, because he's extremely musical and an amazing musician.
He has nothing interesting to say, so he writes about himself.
Yep, there it is.
But he doesn't want to seem self-obsessed, so he writes in third person.
Yep.
In an attempt to seem more rock and roll, but he suspects it's not working. And deep in his heart he knows that he'll never be Silverchair or Eskimo Joe. And even if he was quite pretty with small pants like Kylie, he knows that he will always be a rock and roll nerd. He'll keep writing songs the world don't care about. Though it sounds absurd, he'll just keep writing. Oh yeah, 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 you can criticize him, but he won't care, cause he wants to rock, and he will never be deterred.
So at that end there, he started playing "Stairway to Heaven," which he referenced earlier in the song about not not playing guitar. So let's back up a little bit and hear that transition. That was a really good transition.
But you'll always be a fucked up little try-hard wannabe rock and roll nerd.
There it is. Okay, I really like that song. That was a good one. Uh, Taking on that introspective view while also kind of making fun of yourself uh, is very. You see that a lot in comedy is picking on yourself with things, and I think that's what makes a lot of people very relatable, and pulling off of those real life experiences, even if he's ironically saying, well, I have no experiences to talk about, and I come from this, and this, but then he writes an entire song about it. It's genius. I love it. Uh, yeah, so another great Tim Minchin song. I saw a lot of other really good recommendations I'm going to check out in further videos. But in the meantime, if there are any other bands, artists, songs you want me to listen to, just comment below. Tell me your thoughts on this song. There's been a lot of really good activity in the comment section, which I love. I read every comment, and I comment and like them when I can. So if you have any specific questions for me, I'll answer. Eventually. I'm a little bit busy, but I will go through and I tend to answer any questions. Uh, so, yeah, I mean, I hope you're having a good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you're at. I hope it's wonderful, and I'll see you in the next video.